Hey everyone, PardyBall here, and I just want to do this quick intro, just kind of warning you that the audio quality of this video will not be the greatest. I was using my phone in a car, but it gets my point across, I think. I'll add a little background music to make it a little more timber. But this is a review of the August 22nd, 2019 Iron Maiden concert in Tinley Park, Illinois at the Hollywood Casino Amphitheatre. Enjoy.
Okay, so this is a different video than you'll normally see on this channel, but you know, the thing is I am a nerd, yes, but I am also a metalhead. And today was the second time that I went and saw Iron Maiden. Now, for those that don't know, Iron Maiden's been around for a while. They're a heavy metal band that came from the great country known as the United Kingdom, Great Britain, whatever you want to call them, England. And they were part of the new wave of British heavy metal, and to me personally, they are one of my favorite bands of all time, and they often flirt with the top spot. And my history with Iron Maiden is the first time I heard them was in Guitar Hero 2 for the Xbox 360. However, it wasn't actually Iron Maiden, it was a cover version, but the song was catchy, it was cool, but you know, not hearing it with Bruce Dickinson and Adrian Smith and Dave Murray and of course Steve Harris, and I can't remember if Clive Burr was on that album. I think he was. If it wasn't, it was Nicko. Anyway, fast forward maybe a couple months later, after I played that for the first time, I was watching VH1 Classic, RIP, and they were playing music videos as they would normally do early in the morning or late in the night, whatever you want to call it, and they were playing a good old-fashioned metal tune known as The Trooper by Iron Maiden. And when I heard Iron Maiden for the first time, them actually playing the song, that is when I fell in love with this band. And that was just around the time I was getting out of high school, and unfortunately it took me that long to discover Iron Maiden, but it wouldn't be too much longer until I finally saw them. When I saw them, I believe it was in 2012 during the Made in England tour, which is kind of like a remastered version of a tour they did back in the 80s. This was their Seventh Son of a Seventh Son tour that they did back then, and it was kind of like that again, so it was really cool to see one of my favorite albums played live. And I was in the 200 section somewhere in Tinley Park for that. This time, however, I was a little closer, and I almost didn't go at all because I just couldn't find coverage for work, and I was like, you know what, I had seen Maiden, whatever. But then I saw the set list, and I saw The Greater Good of God, one of my all-time favorite songs. I mean, it's long, so I don't know the lyrics still, but it's a fantastic song. And then, of course, they even played some other deep cuts. I mean, they're not deep cuts because they played them live before, but when you talk to someone about Iron Maiden, Blaze Bayley songs usually aren't at the top of their list, but they did play a couple. So I don't remember the order exactly, so I had to cheat for this. Start off, they did have Dr. Doctor, the UFO version, playing. That was an awesome tune that Blaze Bayley covered when he was part of the band, and people knew the song, obviously. And it's amazing when you go to a show like this that even though Blaze Bayley was viewed as probably the worst addition to the band, he was still a fantastic singer, but he just wasn't Iron Maiden. He wasn't Bruce Dickinson. And for that matter, you know, Dr. Doctor still had a good following because it was a cover of a popular song, but it was a very well done song by Blaze Bayley too, so it was really cool to hear that to start off the show. But of course, this being a legacy tour, Aces High was the very first song, preceded by Churchill's Speech, of course. And I've been listening to Aces High for 24/7 for the last week. That's how excited I was to hear that. They played Where Eagles Dare, which haven't heard that one live because they obviously didn't play the first time I went, but it was really cool to hear that too. And it's a song I wouldn't say I'm entirely familiar with. Of course, I know the chorus, blah, 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 but it was, man, the songs like that bands I don't like going to see live more than once. I mean, AC/DC I would call probably my favorite band, even though it's hard to say Iron Maiden not being number one now, but I've seen AC/DC 3 times, and I've seen the same show 3 times. When you see someone like Iron Maiden, they're going to change it up every year, and I'll get into that in a little bit when Bruce talked to the crowd. But after Where Eagles Dare, they went into 2 Minutes to Midnight, another fantastic tune from the Powerslave album. That album is my introduction to Iron Maiden because the first video I bought was Live After Death, and that was the Powerslave tour, and whew, that hooked me. 2 Minutes to Midnight's got the it's awesome. If you haven't heard 2 Minutes to Midnight, You need to get on, okay? After that, they jumped into The Klansman, one of the 2 Blaze Bayley songs I mentioned, and I was surprised how many people knew this song, and it's awesome because there are a couple good songs that Blaze Bayley was a part of, this being one of them, and Bruce Dickinson, being Bruce Dickinson, makes any song his, and when I hear that song, I don't hear the Blaze Bayley version from Virtual 11. I hear Bruce Dickinson at Rock in Rio. I hear him tonight when I saw it tonight. It's a fantastic job. Of course, after that was The Trooper. Like I said, it was the song that got me into Iron Maiden, and seeing that live again, I could probably watch a hour-and-a-half show of just The Trooper, and my voice is kind of shot probably from that song the most. The Trooper is just, you know, got Steve Harris. Steve Harris might be the most talented bass player of all time. I will fight anyone who says different. I mean, him finger picking later everything, you know, got the machine gun every time he does a song, or a song, because that's just how he plays. He just rapid fire, so amazing. And it was cool when Bruce, you know, he actually, I should say this before, is that they had probably about, I don't know, 12, 15 tall foot Eddie. I'll put some pictures with overlaid in this video, and at this point there have been pictures, so I didn't take many pictures because I was just too enthralled. And when I'm at a show that I'm a very big fan of, I don't like have my phone out. I mean, I hate when I'm seeing someone with Snapchat going, yeah, tap, tap, because you just hear these loud noises, and that's not me. I didn't even take a video. I just took pictures. I'll post them here, probably a couple over on the Instagram too, at PardyBall, so check it out there too. So after The Trooper, I kind of interrupted myself by talking about Eddie. He had the tattered British flag, of course, and eventually he had the tattered American flag, which was a cool touch. I can't remember if he did that first time I went there. This is a very Powerslave heavy album, set. Revelations was on, Revelations is Peace of Mind. I should shut up. Revelations was after that, you know. It would have been cool to see him pull out the guitar and him playing part of the rhythm, which he did in the Live After Death album or show in Long Beach. That'd have been cool to see, but Bruce still has it, which I didn't notice anything wrong with his voice. I don't know if people have. Him having throat cancer not too long ago, he's recovered. He sounds amazing, and I know Dave Mustaine's having the current issue, and I hope he comes through like Bruce has. Bruce has done an excellent job. This dude, day and night, 24/7, he is eating, sleeping, and breathing Iron Maiden because he's flying the jet. He's doing everything, and he's the front man, and he's got as much energy in these shows as he did during the Live After Death shows. Like, he's jumping all around, he's playing with everyone, he's hitting Nicko's cymbals, he's, you know, messing with people, hitting you know, Steve and Dave and Adrian with the sword and all that. It's just, dude's full of life, and if you're his age and you're like that, then you do you, man. Keep going. After that, this was the song that got me to go for sure, For the Greater Good of God, from A Life of Matter and Death. Or yes, I think it's the name of the album. I mean, they have I'm gonna kind of segue here into one of my disappointments from the show. They did play this song, which was their newest album that was not Final Frontier or Book of Souls. It was Life of Matter of Life and Death. Is that the name of it? I can't remember. I don't know why I can't remember right now. I'm just doing one cut here because, you know, this involves just a quick reaction, you know, and they played that song. This was the song that got me to go because, you know, you a man of peace, a man of holy war. It's just so amazing. I love that song, and oh man, it's another banger. It's another banger. If you have 10 minutes, listen to it. The Wicker Man. Now, I mentioned how The Trooper was the song that got me into Maiden. Powerslave was the first album that kind of kickstarted me, but I think Brave New World, the album, is the song that made me a super fan. Like, Live After Death made me a fan of Iron Maiden. Brave New World made me a huge fan, and The Wicker Man is a huge reason for it. So, you know, your time will come. It's just, it's got an amazing chorus, amazing hook. It's a great song to hear live. It's a great song to be around people that know it and sing as well. Love it. Sign of the Cross was next, another Blaze Bayley song. This one was probably the one that people knew the least amount, which is kind of surprising because I thought maybe For the Greater Good of God might have had that. But Sign of the Cross was fantastic live. I love the backdrop they had. They had Eddie holding a rosary and had, you know, the cross just hanging off of him. Bruce had the cross lit up. It was really cool. Not much to say about it. It's another Blaze Bayley song. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite songs, but it's still a pretty good song if you're looking for the Blaze Bayley side of things. After that, Flight of Icarus. Oof, they had a really cool, monument of Icarus up there, which I should probably mention. Azai had the bomber, whatever. I'm not good with the names of planes and war stuff, but it's really cool. And I'm gonna really segue in at some point. So at the very beginning, they have everything draped with, I think it's called ghillie, like the ghillie cover, like you'd wear like when you're sniping. But it's draped over everything, including the sound boxes that had a very brick colored look to it. And I don't know if it was by accident, by happenstance, or on purpose, but it looked very Wrigley Field-like, and I thought it was a cool touch. And I mean, there's a picture here that kind of give you that idea. But we're talking about Flight of Icarus, of course. Another good song to hear live because a lot of people really get into that. It's cool because I think I've learned most of my not my personal history, but most of the history I know personally is probably from Iron Maiden songs. This being one of them, Rime of the Ancient Mariner, which I wish they played again, but they did not. After that was Fear of the Dark. If there is a more quintessential live song from Iron Maiden, I want to know what it is because I think this is it. Fear of the Dark. I mentioned Wicker Man being or Brave New World being the album that kind of made me a super fan of Iron Maiden. Me realizing how amazing this band is live is the Fear of the Dark performance from Rock in Rio. Another one that you need to listen to. The whole Rock in Rio live album is awesome. It was based off the Brave New World album, which is probably why I like it so much. It's just the laugh he has in Rock in Rio. And again, here's another fantastic performance. Everyone's singing along with the melody. Oh, whoa. It's just... I mean, it's one of the things, if you're an Iron Maiden fan, this is the greatest hits album right here. This is everything you want to hear, or everything you expect to hear, and maybe a couple deeper cuts. You get your Sign of the Cross, your For the Greater Good of God. Even Revelations, they did play a lot of that live when it came out, but I mean, if you ask a casual Iron Maiden fan, they may not know what Revelations is. But Fear of the Dark live. And then after this, pretty much every other song you'd expect to hear at any Maiden show, no matter what. And I'm going to segue, or kind of just tail off here for a second. At some point, Bruce mentioned that this is a legacy tour, and I can hear any new songs. And that probably was the biggest con for me for the entire show, because every album that Iron Maiden has had to this point is part of their legacy. And they already had the Book of Souls tour, so if you want to think about it, it's technically now a classic Iron Maiden album. And Book of Souls was a fantastic album. I would have loved to have been in a show that Empire of the Clouds had played at. It's just a fantastic 20-minute banger. Banger's probably not the right word to describe that, but you got the piano in there. It's just, oh my god, it's another historic song, But that's probably my biggest gripe is that we don't want to play new songs because it's a legacy tour after all. And well, sure. I mean, it was kind of nice for them to play their really big time anthems, but I would have loved to maybe have heard a Dance of Death song in there, and that's older than the Matter of Life and Death album, so I really want to hear Dance of Death. At some point, I hope to hear Dance of Death live, the actual song, because that is probably my favorite Iron Maiden song, not named Fear of the Dark. Number of the Beast and Iron Maiden were the next two songs. I mean, if you know Iron Maiden, you know they're going to play these two songs. Number of the Beast is probably if it's not the Trooper or Run of the Hills, it is the song everyone knows by Iron Maiden. Sick. And I'm not going to say all of it just in case, demonetization, whatever. But Number of the Beast is a fantastic song if you know the backstory. And I'm only saying that because of the very, very beginning. At a certain point, Bruce he'll scream, yeah. And the story is when he screams, yeah, he was tired of redoing this take of this song, and he just let it all out, and he just had this huge primal scream, and he has never, I don't think, repeated it live ever since. And it was a fantastic scream in the song. And yeah, I mean, you can definitely tweak some stuff in studio, but that was that's probably a top 3 scream in the song. Fortunately, he hasn't been able to repeat it live, but the song itself is very catchy. Everyone knew the words, so when you have everyone knowing the words, it makes the experience a lot better too. Iron Maiden, like I said, was next, so this has to be the simplest Iron Maiden song in the world because it involves 3 repeats of the same verse and chorus. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's from the very, very first album. It's Iron Maiden by Iron Maiden off the album Iron Maiden, and I am blanking on their Paul Di'Anno. Is that his name? I think his name. Paul Diano? I'm blanking on the very first singer's name. Diano sounds right. This was one of his, and I think that is the only song before Bruce joined the band that they played. And as I re-looked this over, that is true. So Iron Maiden was the only song they played that did not come from Bruce being a part of the band yet. Of course, they played the two Blaze Bayley songs, but after that, that was the end of their set until they came out for the encore for 3 songs. Their only Seventh Son of a Seventh Son song was The Evil That Men Do. And boy, that's a good one to pick. I love Moonchild, but The Evil That Men Do, I think, would probably be top 2 songs I would pluck specifically from that album to play. It's a very, very good song. You know, there's not much else to say. If you haven't heard the song, go listen to it. I mean, there's YouTube after all, and you can find it all. Hallowed Be Thy Name. I really wish this is what they ended with. I can understand what they did end with because, you know, we'll get there in a second, but Hallowed Be Thy Name. I've talked about all these songs that, you know, this song made me a fan, this song made me a fan, this song made me a super fan. Hallowed Be Thy Name is also one of those songs that's, you know, it's a song that, you know, when I messed around with my friend's guitar growing up, I would look at the tab and do that intro, and I don't remember anymore, but that intro, you feel the pain of, even though it's not true or anything like that, it's not like Bruce is living this, it's not like anyone else is living this, but you feel the pain of the story from the, you know, this person is not afraid to die, or at least he's telling himself that, and he can't hold back tears. He's you know, doesn't understand, if there's a God, why is he letting me go? Like, why is this happening? And the story it's just so emotionally powerful, and it's amazing when a song that you absolutely know is not like based off a reality of a particular person, like that's an amazing thing that you can accomplish through music. And I mean, I can't say any of these songs lyrical content moves me in a way that like, oh wow, I feel that. I don't feel that way, but I feel a certain emotion that is just, this is just so amazing. Like, this band just hits all the right notes. They tell amazing stories to their songs, and the musicianship from everyone. I mean, they have 3 guitarists and they use them all well, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I mean, I wouldn't change anything about this band specifically. They got an amazing setup. Another gripe I would have, since I'm kind of talking about the band members themselves, is I couldn't see Nicko at all unless I was looking at the camera. And I was pretty close to the show, as you can kind of see in some of these pictures. Is Nicko's set was way, way tall, and you couldn't see him. And that kind of bothered me. I'd really like to have seen him bounce around back there on the set, but that was probably my presentation complaint. I don't think they went, you know, above and beyond what they would normally do. I mean, they had Eddie in there a couple times. Of course, they had him in the backdrop. I can't remember which song it was that he shows up large and in charge right behind Nicko, but it was a very safe show when it comes to the presentation of it, and there's nothing wrong with that, because I'm there for the music. As long as the band members look alive and look like they're enjoying what they're doing, and Steve Harris always looks like he's having fun. Janick, Gers, holy crap, that dude's got more energy than Bruce, which is impossible to have. I mean, there's a funny moment right at the end of the show. This is officially at the end of the show with the encore, and everyone's, you know, Nicko's throwing his drum heads out and drumsticks, and everyone's throwing their picks, and Janick like goes to throw his guitar, and he takes a strap and like swings it back, and I was like, that is funny. But we're at the very end of the show. Run of the Hills, of course. If you don't know the Trooper or Number of the Beast, you definitely know Run of the Hills. You know, and cool lyrical content, another historical meaning behind it. And I mean, everyone's talked about Run of the Hills at some point. Everyone knows Run of the Hills if you're watching this video for sure. I think that had the most energy out of everybody. Everyone knew it. I think the most casual fan, that was probably the one they knew the most, and it showed. Everyone in the crowd was having a good time with it, and I couldn't believe when they got to the encore, because what was the last song again? Iron Maiden. So Iron Maiden, I believe, is usually the song they lead into their encore with. So it's the, oh, we'll see you next time, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. But I looked at my watch, I was like, holy crap, it's been an hour and a half already. Like, how did that happen? And I don't think it had a show flies by as quick as that one. And it was even better than the one I saw in 2012. I can't believe it. And I will not waste my time and procrastinate to making sure I go to another show of theirs again, because big reason why I went to this one is because I don't know how much longer they'll be playing, and it's hard to pass up your favorite band, especially when you get a good price. Anyone interested in what I paid for it, I was in the 104 section, about 3/4 of the way up that section, and I was pretty close, and I paid about 120. Not bad. StubHub after all. But anyway, we're gonna end it there. Like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I won't do too much in the vein of music, but I just wanted to share my thoughts because this show is awesome. I hope to find other Maiden fans amongst this. This is kind of the primary thing. Is I want to know what other people like Maiden wise. Maybe there's a song that I just happen to have passed up that, you know what, PardyBall, do just listen to it, give it a chance. And that's the kind of thing that I love about this kind of, you know, social media, is that people can kind of share that. And I hope to hear other people's thoughts. If you have a video about this particular show, or even anything on this particular tour, The Legacy of the Beast, this is my shirt. It's scary, I know. That's probably I might put something over that just in case, you know, demonetization, because YouTube, whatever. At some point, we'll get there. Anyway, leave your thoughts below. I will be streaming on Mixer as well, mixer.com/PardyBall. That's where we're going to be doing Gears of War is coming up soon, and that boy is going to be a banger. I might play some Gears of War 4 coming up soon, so follow that, get notified there. Of course, like, subscribe, comment below, all that crap. Until next time, up the irons and party on.